Yo ho. You only have one life. Live it or lose it. Maya Angelou said, I have learned that making a living is not the same as making a life. She said, my mission in life is not only to make a living, but to thrive, and to do so with compassion, with passion, with humor, and yes, with style. Thriving and not just making a living. My question to you today is, are you just making a living, or are you thriving? Have you ever noticed that when you ask and talk to many people, many will say, life is hard. Life is so tough. I just can't seem to manage. Things just don't come together for me. It happens to other people, but never to me. When it comes to forgiveness, forget it. I'm not doing it. I can't let go. I agree. And I understand. Because if I were to ask the same people, they will have stories, they will have people, they will have instances, circumstances that they can talk about that will justify their way of thinking, feeling, and being where they are in life. They will have stories that will justify their need to stay stagnant and to just remain the same. However, today, I wanted to propose a different way of looking at life. You see, I believe that there are two sides of looking at life. There is a dark side where there is hopelessness, helplessness, and just stagnancy. However, there's another side, a sunny, hope-filled side that I would like to propose. When we are looking at this sunny, hope-filled life, it allows us to see that tough times are not here to traumatize us. Tough times are here to help us reveal who we truly are, to bring out the best that is in us, to help us thrive and not just survive. Tough times help us to understand that we are as tough as nails. We can bend, but not break. We can be bruised, but not broken. Looking at the sunny, hope-filled life allows us to see that there is a chance and hope for us to make a different life and a different lifestyle in this one life that we have. A Harvard University study actually revealed that when many people look back in their lives, they see the tough times, the difficult moments, as those moments and times that brought the best out of them. This is when they found a strength that was within them that they never knew that they had. This is a time that they build a resiliency, a toughness to deal with difficult moments and difficult times when they went through and overcame those difficult times and difficult moments. The hopeful and sunny side brings the best out of us. However, in order to see how tough you can be and how those tough times can strengthen you, you have to be willing to dive deep into the ocean, even when you can't swim or you don't even know what is on the other side. I've had to do that many a time in my life. I want to share with you some stories of moments that reminded me that I too only have one life and I need to live it or lose those moments that I have. But before I do so, I want to let you know that when I'm talking about this new proposal of the sunny, hope-filled side, I am not saying that you will not face challenges, difficult moments, and moments where you're hopeless and helpless. I am saying it will give you strength to get through those tough times, tough moments, and difficult and challenging times when you look at the sunny, hope-filled life. I remember fondly working at Tampa General Hospital in Florida. I was a medical social worker for the heart transplant and kidney transplant unit. This is a moment that allowed me to work with people that were at the brink of life, where they didn't know whether they would see one more day, one more chance, or have one more moment in life where they could have an opportunity to make the most out of this one life that we have. Moments that you and I sometimes take for granted, that we could be here, that we could be with loved ones, that we could do whatever we want every day and every moment. They didn't have that opportunity or even knew whether they were ever going to have that opportunity. I was blessed to have that moment where I asked them about what was on their heart. How was your life? Did you have a good life? Did you enjoy your life? Did you make the most out of your life? What are your desires? But most of all, what are you afraid of? It was then that I knew that I too needed to answer those questions if ever I was laying in that bed. I wondered what I would say, how I would respond if I were asked the same questions. And as I did so, one patient helped me to answer that question. He said, "Stem, do not make the same mistakes that I made in my life. Live your best life. Make every moment count. Live with intention. Do not take life for granted." I left there and came back after thinking and planning for how I was going to make this one life count. Came back and said, "Sir, I gave my resignation. I moved on with life." But as life would have it, as you know, sometimes you move on with life and you have all the plans in place, but life has plans of its own. I became content. I was doing what I thought was thriving, but somehow I was not happy. Things were not working out. I was beginning to question again, am I happy? Am I doing the things that I love? Am I hanging around those people that appreciate me, that love me, that bring the best out of me? I was content. So I decided to move to Florida. And as I moved to Florida, I had planned and thought, you know what? I am going now to really live in the sunny side of life in the sunny Florida. But life had plans of its own. I lived a year in one apartment, and one day I saw a note on my door as I opened the door. It said, "You have to leave and vacate the apartment as you are not able to pay the rent." My sisters, my siblings had helped me from Boston, and they said we couldn't do it anymore, and I knew that I needed to move. I became homeless. Have you ever been in that place where everything is planned and you have everything in place, but still things do not work out for you? Sometimes what we have to remember, though, is you go through those situations in order to be prepared for the next level of your life, of where you're going and what it is that you need to do. I was homeless, but the next job that I found after that homelessness made me see that many a time there's a reason for everything and every situation that we go through in life. I found a job as the first social worker in the library systems of the Orange County, Florida. But what I want you to remember today is not that I was the first social worker in the library. I want you to remember the population that I got to work with. I was working with the homeless. Had I not been homeless, had I not been in a situation where I found myself homeless, helpless, and helplessness, I would not have been able to work with the homeless population the way that I did. It was the best job that I've ever done. At the same time that I was working with the homeless, I also found an opportunity to work in a retirement home right near the library where I was working. This retirement home is a heaven on earth, I tell you. Because when I walked in there, there was gold and silver around. It was mesmerizing. Again, I don't want you to remember how mesmerizing this place was. I want you to remember the elderly couple that I worked with that had been married for 50 years. The way they told me about their sunny and hopeful side, the way they talked about their life. Yes, they had trials and tribulations and challenges as people that were married for 50 years. But what was so good was how they had photo albums that they shared with me in pictures of their life. How they looked at each other and told their story after story. That, to me, was what I remembered. And as I listened, I said to myself, Stem, if you have an opportunity to lay here and talk to the lucky therapist that will be talking to you in the retirement home, what stories would you share with them? What photo albums would you share with them to inspire them, encourage them? Because I was encouraged. I was empowered. Again, I found myself taking that time to think about it and reassess my life. I came back and I said, I give my resignation. This time it was heart-wrenching as I love working with the elderly and they loved working with me. And they said, why are you leaving? And I said, I have to prepare to have the stories like you have told me, to empower and encourage that lucky person or people that will work with me at the end of my days. I want to be able to help other people. I want to be able to enjoy my life and make the most of this one life that I have. So thank you for sharing with me. They understood. My question to you today is, are you happy? Are you content? Are you living your best life? Is there anything else that you would like to do? If you were either in that hospital bed or in that retirement home, is there something that you would have said, I wish I had taken the time to do it. I wish I had done this. You still have the time. Ask yourself those questions. What can I do with this one life that I have? Yo ho. You only have one life. Live it or lose it. Thank you.